this is Mason, and you're watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Now it's time to start the post-game show. Here's Brian.
Oh, boy. Yeah. That was 95-64. Was that the final? Doesn't even matter. Syracuse gets absolutely wiped off the court in the second half by Iowa State today. 1-point game of the half, a 30-point game in the second half. The Orange got outscored 60-30. 6-0-3-0 after halftime. Just absolutely blown off the court here. Glad to have you in. Nice we'll be done early today. We can get into our Thanksgiving preparations. Man, that was, the team was showing a little spunk, a little fight in the first half. Something, I guess. It's a 1-point game. Rallied back from down 11 or whatever it was at one point, and then just get absolutely smoked off the court. After halftime, it ended really, really quickly once the second half began. But welcome in here to our third post-game show in 3 days. It's been getting progressively worse here. You go overtime against Houston. Decent fight yesterday against Kansas. Third game in 3 days against the Big 12. That's a pretty good league. And Iowa State gets absolutely whacked by number 15 Iowa State here today. And now we're 6 days out from the biggest game in the tenure of Adrian Red Autry coming up Tuesday against Tennessee. Your last and final chance to get a marquee non-conference win. Man. Just not good today. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining us. LA Orange, you might be right. Like, if it keeps playing out like this, then the Houston game will have been the anomaly. The Tennessee game is now, shockingly massive. We've seen it here in the last 3 days. We've seen it in the chat. They're not firing Red during the season. Let's just move past that. That's not a thing that's going to happen. Red's not getting canned during the year. But we all know what's on the line this year, and important games in March, meaningful games in March. You're running out of opportunities. You need to win meaningful games in November and early December, the way college basketball is now, to have a chance at playing meaningful games in March. You need to have big wins in non-conference play unless you are so dominant in your league. And Syracuse isn't going to dominate the ACC, but you need to have games like this, and the Orange have one opportunity left, and it's against Tennessee on Tuesday night. It's their last opportunity to win a meaningful game in non-conference play. Your last one. And guess what? Tennessee's really good. This is a massive, massive game coming up on Tuesday. And if you lose that one, oh my goodness. Now we're sitting a month getting ready for conference play, and it can just, the drudgery of it all could be something. And, if you don't have a massive conference season, then the writing gets on the wall real quick for Red. So we'll see. We'll see. But Iowa State, this is also, Syracuse didn't have Donnie Freeman. Iowa State apparently didn't have their best player. Their other guys are pretty good, though. That Momcilovic, he's nice. I like him. I didn't like him so much today, but I like him. Yesterday, Kansas didn't have Darren Peterson, but, they won anyway. I mean, Donnie Freeman would have been very useful yesterday, but it's not like Syracuse has been the only shorthanded team in this tournament. Yeah, the schedule of the tournament is weird. These guys didn't find out they were playing each other till, 12 hours ago. Well, Iowa State didn't find out who they were playing until 12 hours ago. All these things are true, but all these things apply to the other team as well. All these teams apply to the other team as well. That was even though it was a 1 point, the game was fun for a little while, then the first 10 minutes were kind of, we're having a little fun here. We're getting up and down, we're having a little fun. Then Syracuse settled into basically just shooting threes, which worked in the first half because they went in. Syracuse was 0 for 9 from 3 after halftime. Iowa State played really nice basketball after halftime. That's a good team. They're a legit top 15 team. And to the point of the offense, yeah, it's one of these things where, early in the season, you can't really tell because the games are wide open. The first 3 games are up and down. The Monmouth game, you're like, what's going on now? And now the last 3 games where you had possessions like that, there is just nothing movement-wise going on at the offensive end of the court. Absolutely nothing is going on at the offensive end of the court. I'd say Felaferta, like, not even really. Like, when Buddy was here, like, they'd run him off screens and stuff. Yeah, sometimes he'd ISO the ball, but, like, they'd run Buddy up. Like, they focused a lot of the offense around Buddy, but he'd was running all over the damn place to get shots. Nobody's running around except the person with the ball in his hands. Nobody is moving. Like, the few possessions where there was movement, like, stuff would happen. Yeah, it looks like a bad NBA offense is the problem. Like, the NBA, those offenses work. The teams those offenses work for have some of the most talented players, like, walking planet Earth. Like, it works for Luka Doncic. It works for, players like that. Where the heck is Iowa State even located? Iowa, LA Orange. They are in Ames, I do believe, and Iowa is in Iowa City. Know your Iowa. Know your Iowa. It feels unheard of. I feel Syracuse surrendered that like last year at some point. I could be wrong, Mark. I feel that's happened sometime in the last couple of years. Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's been going on for 3 years, Stephen McQuaid. It has been, and the hope was, and it's starting to dwindle here a little bit, the hope was that, okay, you got better talent in here this year, and they do. And I've heard they have corn there, LA Orange. And, they do caucuses. Corn and caucuses. I have been to Iowa once. I was twice. I've actually been to Iowa twice. And neither trip went well for the Orange. I was in Iowa with the Fighting G-Robs in 2006, I believe that was, when Syracuse had negative yards offensively at halftime. I don't remember what the final score of that game was, but I'm pretty sure Syracuse had none. And then I was there for a Big Ten ACC challenge game at some point with the women. And I do believe, speaking of giving up 60.5, I believe Syracuse to the Hawkeye women that day gave up 60 in the second half as Iowa hit just a stupid amount of threes. The final of that game was like 90-something to 70-something. It was wild. So, yeah, it can and has happened before. But, man, yeah, Nate George, who I really liked early in the season, he was not good this tournament. Not good this tournament. He's not setting things up with aggression. He's not driving with intent. Like, his drives aren't creating anything. His dribbling isn't creating anything. Yeah, he did have, I think, 6 assists today. And I'll say the 7 turnovers with his style of play are probably somewhat of an aberration. But he didn't have double figures yesterday. He only had 5 points today. Like, your point in this era of basketball, your point guard also has to be able to put the ball in the basket. And I say in this era, really for Syracuse's entire history under Jim Boeheim, that was almost always the case, that they had a point guard that could also put the ball in the basket. When you look at G-Mac and Flynn, or going back to Sherm and Pearl or whatever, like they always had a guy, Michael Carter-Williams, like they always had a guy that could put the ball in the basket. Nate George what did he average? 15, 16 points a game last year? I mean, it was at least 13, I think. He could score. And that was a number, I'm trying to remember from the spring when we portal watched, that was a number that went up pretty significantly back half of the season. He started being more aggressive on offense. The term boat race comes from the America's Cup. I suppose that makes sense. It'd be kind of weird if the term boat race did not come from an actual boat race. Raise the spinnaker. Starboard. Port. Spinnaker's a good call. Oh, man. Are we worried about the Orange Standard right now, LA Orange? I thought we were worried about level 5 energy. It's amazing what just happened in the last 3 days. Is it not? It is amazing what just happened in the last 3 days. Monday night, the game tipped off at 6. At 7:58-ish, when Tyler Betsy hit the three to tie up the game. Hope was high. Carmelo was on his feet. Everyone was happy. Syracuse basketball. Hope had returned. It was fun again. Then, gets away, miss all the free throws, you lose in overtime, but it's like, oh, okay. That was a hell of a game. That was fun. Yesterday, it was kind of a mixed bag of it, right? You're battling. I'm like, oh, they're battling. It's a good fight. Battle. They're D'ing up a little bit, but the offense is a mess. And all right, maybe they're a little tired from the Houston game. It's hard to bounce back from Houston. And then today, you get worked by 30 in the second half, and you're below where you started on Monday. Like, the season was kind of like, oh, all right, they're doing something. Then Monmouth happened. You're like, yeah, that was funky. But then, like, Houston. All right, now overtime. So you plateau a little bit. Then Kansas, you're like, and then today was my description of Syracuse basketball thus far in 2025, headed toward 2026. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join the show vis-a-vis a video call. Man, and now the next game's against Tennessee. I don't know if any of y'all watched it. I just I kept the TV on after the game yesterday. Houston played Tennessee in the game that followed Syracuse's yesterday, and it followed on TNT. So I had it on, we were doing the post-game show. I'm not really paying attention. Then after the show, got to do the post-production. We got to get out the clips for the people so you can enjoy on the social media and the graphics and all the things one must do. So I unmute, and I've got the volume back on, and I'm paying a little bit of attention. And it was a good little game down the stretch, and it's a one-possession game, and it was fun. But, then Tennessee wins the game and beat Houston. Like, Tennessee's good. Tennessee lost a lot. They've had a lot of roster turnover the last couple of years from Dalton Connect and then all the guys they had last year, and Syracuse seems to keep playing them and losing to them by a lot. And now they'll play them again on Tuesday night for the first time in the Dome in this period. And, like, is there a game in December that is a must win by the purest form of must win? No. But if the Orange do not win on Tuesday, the road to the tournament becomes damn near impossible by any real logic, right? Like, your ability to roll up quad one wins will be trickier in the ACC. It's going to be a fourth straight opportunity. You'll be 0-4 in that category if you lose on Tuesday. You're going to have to pull, like, road wins against Duke or Carolina or Louisville or something out. Like, really, really hard things to do. And, yeah, you got young guys on this team. Could you improve a lot by then? Sure, you could. But now, if you don't win on Tuesday, you are behind the eight ball almost regardless of how well you play in the league this year. You need big non-conference wins now if you're going to be anywhere near the bubble. And realistically, without big non-conference wins this year, I don't see how Syracuse isn't near the bubble in a best case scenario. So, man, it's a tough spot here. Is that what Red's record is in quad one games? 2-20. It's not ideal. It's not what you want. And yeah, Devin, after the Houston game, like, it's easy to retcon it in hindsight. Like, it was less than 48 hours ago. Hopes were high. How long ago was that? Monday night, 8 o'clock. It was 43 hours ago. Hopes were high. And now they're gone. It took less than 48 hours from hopes to go from here to here for Syracuse basketball. That is going to be a long, quiet flight back across the country for the Orange. This was a rough one. To leave on this, you lose getting just worked by 30 by lunchtime in Vegas, and now you go home? Wow, that was bad. Why do you let Jerry leave, Quincy? I mean, we all love Jerry. There's no guarantee it would be better with Jerry, right? There's no guarantee. Go back to the 2-3. I don't think not playing. I don't think the zone is the lack of zone is the issue. Yeah, like, could they get to 6th place in the ACC? Like, it's possible. Like, if you told me in the league this year they kind of are what they showed against Houston, maybe. Could they go 12-6 in the ACC? Maybe, but even that might not be good enough to make the tournament if you don't beat Tennessee. It's crazy. It's crazy. And this, I think, this one today, Syracuse fans are going to be spiraling a little bit. And if the Orange can't recover in the next game against Tennessee, then essentially, unless you lose, like nothing you can do then after that until conference play starts matters in a good way, right? Like, let me pull up the schedule here. There's no meaningful non-conference game that's actually going to turn the slate for you in a meaningful way that's good. The only thing that could happen to you would be bad. Like you could play well, you could get better as a team, like you could do useful things basketball-wise, but there's nothing you can do relevancy-wise, right? You've got St. Joe's in the Dome December 11th, Hofstra in the Dome December 13th, freaking Mercyhurst in the Dome December 17th, Northeastern in the Dome December 20th, and Stonehill, of all things, in the Dome on December 22nd. So after Tennessee, you got 5 games that if you don't go 5-0 and by comfortable margins, it's an abject disaster. And if you do go 5-0, it's whoop-de-damn-do. And then Clemson comes to the Dome New Year's Eve afternoon. And then you're into it. And now, realistically, Syracuse's hope right now, if they don't beat Tennessee, is they better hope that the rest of the league starts winning some of these games right now so that if and when Syracuse beats those teams down the line, it actually means something. Because what we have seen, not to Syracuse, but we saw it happen to SMU last year. We saw it happen to a lot of teams in the ACC the last 2 or 3 years, that the ACC wins, which used to mean something, did not. And because the league as a whole did not win these games that happened this week, nothing the league did mattered in February, and thus you were getting 4, 5, 6 in instead of 7, 8, 9 in. And, it looks like it's what's about to happen again here at this point. Maybe not as drastically, but the Orange are going to need some sort of intervention if they're going to get back in this thing going forward. Stonehill sounds like an assisted living complex. I was going to say Stonehill sounds like it could have been like an insane asylum in the 50s. Oh, where did little Johnny go? Oh, he's off at Stonehill. What's going on there? Ooh, they don't talk about what happens at Stonehill. We don't talk about Stonehill. I don't even know what to analyze from today's game. The offense is maddening. Lack of offense. There's just, and I don't even want to put it on one person. Like JJ does it, Cayenne does it, Nate George does it. They all do it. It's just dribble, 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 dribble. Whenever there's been some passing, good things have happened. Whenever there has been some passing, good things have happened. And then you have the problem with the free throws. Today, they upped their output to a whopping 63% at the line. William Kyle was 5 for 8. Good for him. But just Tyler Betsy is, at the moment, their best shooter from the outside, but he goes 3 of 14 today, 2 for 10 from 3. It's a high-volume game for him. Cayenne did some stuff early, but, he just kept dribbling himself into trouble as the game went along. He's 3 for 8. JJ, 4 for 9, but didn't really leave an imprint of the game. Sadiq was solid today. I don't know. Maybe he's our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. Maybe we give it to a pack of cards or a pair of dice. I don't know. Sadiq White had 14 points in the ball game to lead the Orange in scoring. William Kyle didn't quite have the impact he had the last couple days. Only 2 boards to go along with 9 points. Nate Kings was essentially absent today, 5 points in 15 minutes. Nate George was not good today, 5.6 assists, 7 turnovers in 28 minutes. We had a Luke Fennell sighting. That was nice. He hit that 3 early on. You got tired legs, 3 days, deeper on the bench. The guy gives you something. Who are the best coaching candidates to hire in March? I don't know, Bruce. We got who's the leader of the guy that used to be Nate Oates' assistant? That guy. People like that guy. Yeah, like even if they play, that's the problem, Luke. If they don't beat Tennessee on Tuesday, even if they play well the rest of the season, making the tournament is going to be hard. Like, let's play it out. We played it out in postgame yesterday. Let's say they lose to Tennessee on Tuesday. They're going to be underdogs, probably by 7, 8, 9, 10 points would be my guess, maybe more. Home game will help you on that. George plays like he's out there only to get his. Well, if that's so, I'd wish he'd get his. He's not scoring in double figures. If he's playing like he's going to get his, I wish he'd at least get him. So let's say you lose that game, then win the next 5. So you'd be 9-4 in the non-conference with 4 quad 1 losses. Then you got 18 conference games coming up. Let's say you play well. And I think for Syracuse, playing well in the ACC would be like 12-6, right? That's playing well. You go 12-6 in the ACC, I don't care what people think about the league that's playing well. You'd be 21-10. All told, that's solid, right? But that would be bubble at best, unless there's a very weak bubble this year. And unless you mixed in Duke on the road, Carolina on the road, Louisville on the road, unless you picked off the upper echelon of the league, and there are routes to 12-6 in the league without doing that, you'd be sitting with a really uninspiring resume on Selection Sunday. And then, John Wildhack, man, because you go 21-10, meaningful games in March, like, all right, like it wouldn't be bad. Clearly, things would be better than we saw today, if that's what happens. But you're probably not making the tournament, or you're on the bubble, but you don't have metrics to help push you over the top. You'd make the tournament 5-10 years ago, but the current metrics with the net and whatnot, you're not making it, to JM's point, unless there's quad 1 wins, of which you may have blown a significant stack of your opportunities already. And then what do you do? Because, like, do you fire a guy who's 21-10? Like, I know all of you today would say yes, but that becomes a weird conversation, does it not? Because, financially or whatever, you can, if you're 21-10, you're probably playing significant games in March, meaningful games in March. But, man, on the other side, if you watch today's game, it's, you're not going to have to worry about it. They're not going to go 12-6 in the league. That said, the 3 teams you just played are better than a significant chunk of the ACC, I think. Like, there's going to be winnable games out there. But, man, the offense is getting really, really frustrating to watch. Really frustrating to watch. Really frustrating to watch. Lacrosse season? Not quite yet, Mike. One of the Lax players still has a football game to play on Saturday. We got to do things in the right order of operations. Now, I cannot think of, when you think of where we're at in Red Year 3, where we're at in this season, what we watched the last 3 games, I can't think of a November-December game that means more to, like, the future of the program, like, ever? For Syracuse, because realistically in the past, like, it didn't, not that they didn't matter, but, back when they were, good, you would have won your fair share, so nothing would have been on one of those games. Like, Boeheim's job was never on the line in December, ever, for 45 years, so there was never the talk of that. Like, we have entered a whole new space of time, right now. We have entered a whole new, we've never been through this before. This is new. This is new for all of us, essentially, as Syracuse basketball fans, observers, whatever. We've never had this before. 45 years of Boeheim, we never had this. Certainly not in December. Certainly not, like, for real. There was, maybe it's time for him to retire. There was plenty of debate, but not like this. It wasn't based on the result of one game. Tuesday's the last chance to turn opinion one way or another for a long, long time based on the result of one game. It's, man. It's, man. Yeah, JM, because, and that's a fascinating question, because give or take, that would be the year they had 2 years ago, right? When they were 20 and whatever. It would be a very similar style of season to the first season under Red. And I'd say still today, that's plausible. I don't know. We'll see where it goes, but for a thought experiment, it's plausible. Say you're 21-10, You're on the bubble just by the nature of being 21-10, but yeah, you're probably going to miss the tournament, and you do. I don't know how they handle that. I don't know. That's the wiggle room that John left himself in both directions when he phrased it as he did last year. It was very intentional, and that's the wiggle room he left by saying meaningful games in March. That's one where if you are in that range and you want to keep the guy, or you don't want to do a coaching search, or you don't want to pay the money or its budget or whatever, you can say, well, they won 21 games. It's also the other side where you could say 21-10. We might actually find out that not in the tournament. That is not up to the, say it with me now, orange standard. Like you could use that as a way to make a move. And I am sure in that situation there would be a lot of, that's when a lot of behind the scenes stuff starts talking, right? When NIL money starts talking, when trustees and what, there's a lot of behind the scenes which way the wind is blowing at that point. That is well beyond most of our pay grades, right? So it'll be fascinating. That said, even to get to that point at this point, now we're talking about 11-12 ACC wins. So we'd be talking about having their best league season in a long, long time. Well, fellow Ferda, I say this, regardless of what's enough, he's not getting fired during the year. Like, that's a meaningless conversation. So, like, that's not happening. It's not happening during the year. Like, I don't think there's not any one game. I keep saying, in the same sentence I say, Tuesday is the most important game of all time, ... But there's not any one game that's going to decide this. It's not like there's going to be just a ridiculous game and then they blow him out during the season. There's no way they're casting him aside during the season. I just don't know what that would accomplish. Like that, I don't think that would accomplish anything useful, realistically. Especially not the way like basketball coaching searches work. They're usually a little quicker, a little snappier than some of the drawn out, interesting stuff that goes on when you get rid of your coach ahead of time in football. Because in basketball, just that would be something, would it not? The Barry Alvarez method. How many bowl games did he coach after he retired at Wisconsin? Yeah, a close loss. Yeah, a close loss today. You're feeling at least not crappy. You're like, man, they went 0-3, but at least they played with these teams, and you played with 3 good teams. Now you took a really good Houston team down to the wire. You took a decent Kansas team and were there. But today, like, it's a good Iowa State team, not great but good, without their best player, and you get absolutely worked. You get absolutely worked in the game, and you lose by 30, and the whole margin is the second half. You lose by 31, and 30 of the margin is after halftime. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join our post-game show today. Last show prior to Thanksgiving. We will have our final football post-game show coming up on Saturday. That is a 3 o'clock CW kick for the much-anticipated toilet bowl in the ACC between Syracuse and Boston College. Yeah, I mean, that's where, is it a tipping? That's why I'm saying there's not one game that's going to be a tipping point, because Clemson's the ACC opener, and Clemson, I don't know what their deal is this year, but Clemson's been a very good team the last few years. So it's not like losing to Clemson, in a jar is a game that ends everything, nor is it like losing today or yesterday or Monday. But it's when you're adding all of it up, and my guess is by the time we get to March, it's going to be very clear what needs to be done one way or another. Because, and I think we can see this in the chat. We can see this. I certainly see it on Twitter during the games. And perhaps most importantly, and this is what is going to speak very loudly, right? Like, they're going to see it in the dome, right? If the dome is just empty, if the dome is empty through ACC season, and it wasn't great last year, but if the dome is empty and the fan base is done with it, that is going to speak to the wallet, and that would be probably I think, more of a final straw than, they lost to Clemson, right? But if it's, they got blown out by Tennessee, then, they lost to Clemson, then, what's the point of using my tickets? Or, I'm not seeking out level 300 whatever section tickets to go to some game on a Saturday that they're probably going to lose. Yeah, it's just, it could take a real turn toward negative town around here real quick. And as I always say, about all this stuff, that the real issue is not us being upset. The real issue, like being upset, we don't want to be upset about it, but being upset is good. That means we're all still paying attention, engaged, care, even if it's going sideways. The real issue would be if you guys are not even tuned in here in February. It's like, you're still going to come hang out with me. Come on. But the real issue is if you're not buying tickets to the game, if you're not paying for parking, and if there's apathy. If there's apathy amidst the program, even if they go like 20-11 or something, if there's apathy, I think that's when you have to be proactive and make a move. It's still too early in the season to know, but man, today does not leave any of us feeling in a good place to think about it in any way. BC game is free on the CW app this Saturday. It's also flying through the air around my head. The CW. Maybe. I'm in the basement. Does it fly this low? We'll see. It's probably, or realistically, also San Diego Cuse. I know this is not available for you. It's going to be darn close to free in the Dome as well. My goodness. It's going to be darn close to free in the Dome. I have not looked, but I bet you could get in that. I bet you could get into that game without dropping a serious penny right now. Let's, just for the hell of it. Where's my, I got Ticketmaster and StubHub here. Let's do a quick little research project, shall we? For Syracuse football. Loading. Syracuse orange football. That's the one. Loading. Syracuse football versus Boston College. That's the one. Let's load it up. Yeah. What do I need to know? Give me 2 tickets. The cheapest is $33. Come on, I should be able to get this for like $2. Let's go to StubHub. Let's get off the official site. We need to go a little rogue here. Syracuse orange football. Syracuse versus Boston College. StubHub is pretending the tickets are selling fast. Yeah, 2 tickets. Give me 2 tickets. Okay, here we go. I can get you in the upper deck for $4 a ticket. Yeah, section 332. I can get you in for 4, 5. Oh yeah. You can get in. You can get in. StubHub, just if you lost a couple of nickels in the couch, you'll be able to go to the game on Saturday. And the only reason it's not going to be even more than that, it's because people will probably too lazy to list their tickets on the app for it. Yeah, let's see. I don't know if that includes. Oh, this is $5. This is $5 including fees. This says $4 in each, including all fees on StubHub, section 332 for a pair. And it's a picture of the dome while it is empty, showing the whole building from your seat. But that may be what it actually looks like during the game on Saturday. Yeah, I can get you in for $4. $4. I'd imagine, Kev, that the ushers aren't going to be too motivated to keep you out of the lower deck if you go upper deck for $4 on Saturday. But man. I don't think anybody, Daria, welcome into the show. And if anyone would like to join the show via live video call, the link, as always, is pinned top of the chat. You can give it an old clickety-click, and you will go exactly where you want to go, which will be connecting. That did not work. Connecting to our chat room. And yeah, the link's up there, and it's absolutely ready to go. So yeah, that is ready, willing, and available to you if anyone would like to join in for our post-game show today. Does $4 seem high for this game? I bet it'll drop lower by Saturday. Yeah, for United States dollars. Yeah, not them Canadian dollars, not them Peruvian coins. I don't think anybody ever thought last year was all on lack of talent, Daria Alexander, but the talent last year was incapable of competing at the level. We've seen this year the talent is at least capable of competing at the level. We saw that 2 days ago and yesterday, that the talent was capable of competing at the level. We saw it in the first half today that Syracuse was incapable of competing at the level. We also saw that the offense doesn't look good, and we saw in the second half that, yikes, I don't even know. Like, not good. Not good, yes. $4 United States. $4 United States. Take everybody. I gotta remember to check this on Saturday. I need to set a reminder to check my phone at 2 on Saturday just for the hell of it to see how cheap you can get into that game. Also, and man, I don't think I'm going to be able to tune in for No Wrong Answers coming up on Tuesday. I can't imagine I'm going to be predicting Syracuse to beat Tennessee on Tuesday. They're really good, and I think that's a tough ask. But especially if Syracuse football loses Saturday, to end the season on an 8-game losing streak, all by double figures, including that 70-7 debacle last week. If Syracuse basketball goes from 3-0, people feeling good, to 4-0, almost lost to Monmouth, to 4-4, man, we will have taken a collective in-town turn to a negative town real quick. Shockingly quick, how fast it would have gone. That Clemson football game wasn't that long ago, was it? That Clemson football game, what day was the Syracuse-Clemson football game? Was that less than 2 months ago? Let me look up the exact date of that as we sit here on November the 26th. The Clemson football game was September 20th. So 2 months and 1 week ago, about 9 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago, call it 10 weeks ago, we were all in a good mood, except for the fact that everyone feared that Angeli was done for the year. 10 weeks ago, whatever time it was before Angeli got hurt in the game, everyone was in a great mood, and, it's just gone to hell since then. 38-3, 31-18, 30-13, 41-16, 27-10, 38-10, 70-7. Those are the football scores since. Syracuse had the smaller number in all of them. And now what we watched today. And 0-3 in another major tournament. Maui a couple of years ago, you get blasted by Tennessee and Gonzaga. At least final scores. The Tennessee game there was close for a minute. And then your only win out there is against Chaminade. Whatever that thing was last year in New York City, you lose both games. Like it used to be, Syracuse went to these tournaments and won. Remember they won when they went to the Paradise Jam that year. Not the Paradise Jam, when the Bahamas won. That one. When they went to that one, they beat UConn in the whole thing. Like, it got them in the tournament that year, winning tournaments like that. And, man, now you go to these tournaments, and it's the other teams that are the big boys on the block, and you get worked, and then, yeah, that team. They weren't 6-5, though, at the time, JM. At the time, let's live in the moment. Go back to living in the moment. At the time, we felt good about life. At the time, we felt good about life. Like Syracuse had never won there before. But now, not. Again, link pinned top of the chat if you'd like to join. Yeah, Great Alaska Shootout back in, is that my freshman year? I think that was 2000. I think that was my freshman year. Did they win that tournament twice? Like Bayham at one point, wasn't Bayham at one point 9-0 in Maui? 6-0, 9-0. Like he won Maui multiple times, like the Tyler Ennis year. CJ Fair smacked in the eye year. Cal's going to get back in this year out in Maui. Like that was good times. These used to be really fun things. Really fun things. And now it's become dread here the last few years. Like, oh, great, the Thanksgiving thing. The Orange are going to get smoked by somebody. Oh, good, lose by 30 to Iowa State. That's fun. Not as fun. Not as fun. Oh, yeah, Jameis is fun. See, this wasn't fun. Jameis, Kev. Fun. Looks like Dart's back practicing. I don't know if they've announced the Giants play the Patriots on Monday Night Football this week. He made the grounds crew paint the lax crease on the football field. Sure. Belichick does like his lacrosse. The Carrier Classic. What would he have to name it now? Carrier's not putting up for it. Is JMA sponsoring? And the what can we alliterate with Micron? Micron something. I'm thinking here. Micron, the Micron mishmash of basketball. I don't know. Somebody on Twitter, whoever this was, are you here in the chat? Somebody on Twitter in the game was insisting to me that they should have a tournament like this, like a major NIL tournament in the Dome. And then I said, that's great and all, but this tournament pays all of the teams more than $1 million each. Or $1 million each, plus there's extra money to go along with it. Let me see. Where did this whole conversation occur? And then they said, Micron, Kinney Drugs, Wegmans, Adam Weitzman's going to pay for it because he pays for lots of stuff. Saab Census, JMA. So he named some local corporations, said they would front all this money, to which I Googled who was financially backing the tournament we just watched to find this. Players Era is financially backed by Redbird IMI, a joint media venture between the private equity firm Redbird Capital Partners and the Abu Dhabi-based International Media Investments. Like, this is private equity, Middle East money. Like, they got money coming in from all over the place for a tournament like this. But, yeah, we're going to put it on with Adam Weitzman and Micron. Good luck with all that. They're going to be playing for $20. Good luck with all of that. But, man, just absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Do we have a caller coming in? It looks like we have a caller coming in. Maybe. Or not. Seems they disappeared. We'll give Mike in the car a sec. Mike in the car just vanished. We had a Mike in the car. The Micron's not coming, Turney. We can go play it at that lady's house on that all that stuff was going on last week. Oh man. All right, Mike in the car. If you want to call back in, we'll get you on. But yeah, like, I don't know. What would I ask Red in the post-game presser? I don't know, but the answer would be level 5 energy. Like, the answer would be level 5 energy. Need more level 5 energy. There's the answer. I can answer the question. It's a level 5 energy situation. What happens first? Micron breaks ground. SU makes the tournament. Oh my goodness, it better be SU makes the tournament, right? How many years are they saying now till shovels in the ground? What is it like? Juicing station. Yeah. Is Maui happening? I'm so out of touch with what's going on in Maui. Is that electric, Howard? Who's in that game? Should I change the channel? Because I'm looking at Houston Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame has 2 points. 6.5 minutes into the game. I don't care to be looking at this game. Yeah, Juice Station ran out. They failed to get a resupply of juice. What channel's Maui on? Let's change the channel. I've lost the remote in the basement has become lost, and I have not found it yet. So we got to go Roku on the phone to use remote, which is handy in a pinch for the amount of times remote gets lost. But I do find it wildly annoying to have to use this. What is what's the game? USC USC Arizona State, a former conference matchup. All right, we'll change the channel to that. 48-46 USC, the Southwest Maui Invitational Championship. Oh yeah. That's Eric Musselman. I like his Hawaiian vibe polo. That's a nice shirt. Devin lost his pants and your belt. I have follow-ups, Devin. What happened? The remote's got to be down here somewhere. I've looked. I haven't. I mean, I don't know where it is. It wasn't in any of the normal places. The basement remote doesn't normally get lost. It's usually the upstairs remote that gets lost and found like 7 times a day. But yeah. What does the offense need to do to achieve the orange standard? what would a level 5 offensive day look like? Levels, Jerry. Levels. Oh, man. Yeah, thank goodness you can do the phone thing to turn on TVs now with the Roku, but it is obnoxious to have to do it. Like, I'm not flipping channels with the freaking phone. It's just annoying. Just annoying. You got, yeah, you're sagging today. Yeah, you got to find that belt, Devin. This is like, that's a big problem to be beltless. The good news is if you are beltless, we're fast closing on Black Friday. I bet you could find a belt at dynamic prices, though your pants will fall down at Thanksgiving tomorrow. So, you know, it's one or the other here. You'll figure it out. Yeah, the remote isn't the same place as their offense. The remote also is lacking in motion because it's not reappeared. Hello. Remote. Oh, man. JJ did a better job setting up teammates than George. Yeah. I know, like, JJ, I mean, only 3 assists, but JJ 1 turnover, George 7 turnovers. Nate was fine on Monday. Nate was not good yesterday, and Nate George was bad today. And I'd probably say the same thing for Nate Kings, too. Nate Kings was fine on Monday, not great yesterday, and bad today. The Nates did not have a good Wednesday. Yeah, it's just a foam paw. 5, level 5. Put your 5s up. That's 10. No, 5. Don't want to accidentally put your 10s up. Got to get your 5s up. It's not the fourth quarter. Got to get your 4s up. Yeah. Maybe we're going to put our 5s up and run 5 high and, run a play. Put the 2 up. Run the 2 play. Get some motion. Run screen. Pass and cut. Pass and cut. There was no passing. There was no cutting. Again, link pin top of the chat if you'd like to join. I suppose it's about time to attempt to name our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game. I don't even, wow. Where did I put the bird cam? Is anything going on bird cam? It should still be light out outside, right? We're gonna trip into a bird? That'd be amazing if there's just a bird sitting there. No bird right now. Well, let's hang on. Let me hit some buttons and move some things and do some stuff to get up our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game, so we can potentially pick out a good one here today. Wild Bird Cam. There we go. The backyard. We can actually see the backyard today. Stuff seems to be spilled all over. That's all right. What are we going to do for our Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game today? Does anybody have a good idea? Does anybody have a good idea for the Wild Birds Unlimited Big Air player of the game? I guess Sadiq? He led him in scoring with 14 points. Fouled out in 20 minutes. I mean, it's not an inspiring collection today. Tyler Betsy was the only other double figure scoring. He shot 3 of 14, though. I don't know. Yeah. Sadiq, Otto. I can't. We just did nobody for the football game last week. We just did it. The problem also with basketball, it's not like football where we did the bailout of Stonehouse a few times and we had a punter we could go to. There's not a good bailout option in basketball. Yeah, Iowa State's players. Yeah, George was not good today. And how did the team go from, the team went from 2 turnovers yesterday to 19 today? How did that happen? That's kind of waggy. Luke Fennell came in, hit the 3. I'm looking at the plus minuses. Nate Kings only was -1 in this game. How about that? -1 for Nate Kings in the plus minus. Most everybody else was -20. That's because he was on the bench during the second half. Maybe Nate Kings is sneakily more important than we realize. I guess, Noah Lobdell did. Noah, despite only playing the last minute of the game, was still -3. Bryce Zephyr, +2. Bryce Zephyr, +2. How about that? I think we're going Sadiq White for our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game, but we're not enthusiastic about it. Yeah, Sadiq White, 14 points. Is that a career high? I think it's a career high. We're going Sadiq White for our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game, but we are not enthusiastic about it. So this is a very unenthusiastic handing out of the Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. Maybe that's because tomorrow's Turkey Day, so stuff's gonna happen to turkeys. Gavendo for going to Vegas. Yeah, I suppose we could do that. There we are, Sadiq White. Because why not? Yeah, Diawara didn't miss a shot. Our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game is Sadiq White on a day where, we may have regrets for handing one out at all. So there we are, our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. Yeah, I just don't want to start doing no one all the time, Matt NY. That's just we went with an item of clothing after the football team lost by 67. So we've set a very high standard for going ridiculous with our player of the game. This award is prestigious. We got to have standards with our Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game. All right, still time to sneak in a call if you'd like with the link pinned top of the chat. Yeah, the free throw coach. Yeah, they coached it up. They got all the way up to 62% today. How about that? 63%. I shorted him. William Kyle, 5 out of 8. Oh, man. I saw a new bird today. What was this bird that we got today? Speaking of Wildbirds Unlimited Big Air Player of the Game, where did it go? What was the name of this bird? I was not familiar with its kind. What did I get today? I had the return of the tufted titmouse. We hadn't seen the tufted titmouse in a while. We also got a black-capped chickadee. Yeah, new things and some cardinal action this morning. So there's that. There is that. Yeah. Joe Filippelli, it is. Yeah. I saw some birds today. Hey, Dad. I don't know. Next Tuesday, Tennessee. Major game. And unfortunately, for a major game that's on your home court, I could easily, after what happened today, see the Orange being 10-point dogs going into it. Maybe because it's a home game that's only 7 or 8. Maybe. But Tennessee's good. I'd say they're probably at least as good as Iowa State, or certainly comparable. They're in that mix of, the upper echelon of the country and have been now for a handful of years. And realistically, is it a game that's going to get the head coach fired? No. But if Red wants to make some positive headway here this season, Tuesday is absolutely vitally important for him going forward. Vitally important. Yeah, the next game after that isn't the 13th. Or wait, they play St. Joe's the 11th? They got to beat St. Joe's, right? If you lose to St. Joe's, you got, I know they're not terrible, but you can't lose that game. You can't lose that game. You can't lose any non-conference game going forward that's not Tennessee. If you lose another non-conference game that's not Tennessee, your chances of making the tournament, which are already on shaky ground here on November 26th, are basically kaput unless you go 14-4 in the league. And yeah, unfortunately, that's just the spot they're in right now. That is the spot they are in right now. All right. What's everyone doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow? We got plans. We got turkeys. Have you thawed your turkey? Don't forget to thaw your turkey. Big, important doings. Anyone traveling today? Going places? With that, here's our plans going forward. We'll get some stuff up leading up to the football game on Saturday at some point. Our next live program will be Saturday 6:30-ish after Syracuse and Boston College, which should just be a thrilling affair of football prowess live from the JMA Dome, kicking off at 3 o'clock on the CW. So we'll see how that all goes down. Then a little no wrong answers on Friday. And besides that, thanks as always, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for stopping by Postgame. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. And we'll talk to y'all again right here live on YouTube on Saturday.
Thanks for watching the 315 with Brian Higgins. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn your notifications on. We'll see you next time.